Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. How's everybody doing today? I hope that you guys can hear me loud and clear and that my audio is working today. I'm on a brand new laptop today. I'm on a new computer, and I thought I got my audio fixed. I'm sure if it's not working, y'all let me know in the chat, okay? But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome into a glitch in the Matrix. We are going to be taking a deep dive today into these strange creatures on old world maps. And we're also going to be talking as well about electrotyping bodies. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with that, it seems as though potentially some of these statues that we have out across cemeteries, in front of Capitol buildings, and maybe at your local courthouse could actually be real humans that are covered in copper. All right. So this is a wild rabbit hole to go down today. And I don't know. I mean, you too could be electrotyped when you die, potentially, and live on forever in infamy, wherever you want to put a statue up of yourself. Okay. So, but anyways, how long has this been going on and why is this not more popular? And my question is that where some of these giants went? Maybe they were electrotyped into being decorations. I'm just saying, I don't know. Call me crazy, y'all. I've been called worse. Okay. But anyways, this is going to be a treat today. I do have Geryl and Jane Fountain of Midwest Night Watchers here in the studio with me today. And we're going to take this dive down the rabbit hole together today. Okay. So if you guys would like to check out my website and stuff, go over to the cryptidhuntress.com. You can find all my info over there. And I do have the Georgia Bigfoot Conference coming up. That is going to be this month, actually. Y'all, it's already March. Can you believe it? And here's a little flyer for it. March the 21st in Tiger, Georgia at the Big Shoals Junction. And I can promise y'all it's going to be a good time if you want to come up and see me. It's an all-day event on March the 21st up in North Georgia, right outside of Clayton, if y'all know where that is. Okay. Also, I do have a Patreon and I have a shop called War Woman Goods if you guys want to check out the goods. Okay. Well, let's get into our show today, shall we? Because we've got much to discuss. And Geryl made one of the most, and Jane probably had a little something to do with it too. Okay. But they made the most amazing little intro video and a promo video for today's show. And we're going to play that for y'all in just a second. In case you missed it on social media, we're going to play it as soon as I pull them up. All right. So today we have Jane and Geryl of Midwest Night Watchers and Chiro Sounds here to discuss the numerous strange creatures on old maps, from sea creatures, like mermaids and sea dragons, to civilizations of animal-human hybrids, Blemmyes, and more. We're also going to take a deep dive into electrotyping bodies, a process that became popular in the 1800s, where a dead body was covered with copper, silver, gold, or bronze, creating a perfect statue of that person and placing them on a pedestal to be memorialized forever. Could centuries-old statues actually be human bodies? And also, what about those marble statues? They look like they were 3D printed too. Gosh, y'all, we live in a strange matrix, don't we? But to help me make sense of all this stuff today. I do have Jane and Geryl Fountain here, and let me pull them up from Midwest Night Watchers. You guys can go find them on their YouTube channel. It's called Midwest Night Watchers, and Jane has another channel called Chiro Sounds. Please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Geryl Fountain. Hey, Geryl. Hey, thank you for being here today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Now, I see Jane here. Jane may have had to go get a package.
Yep, she's coming right down in a minute.
Okay, perfect. Well, we've got her on the screen for when she gets back. Okay, but Geryl, thank you so much for joining me today. This is amazing. I thought maybe we could play that video that you made, the promo, to show the audience. I love that thing.
Okay, yeah, so I have it down below.
Man. All right. Man, that is so cool.
Yeah, it came out really well. I'm really happy with it.
Me too. Thank you for making that. That is really cool. It actually looks just like the old world maps and stuff. There was the Piri Reis map and all that. And Jane, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Sorry for the delay. But it's
here.
You
got your package.
Yes, it is here. Dor's going to be happy about it.
Oh, man. Do you want to tell the audience what you guys just got?
We just got a thermal, guys.
They did. They're going to
a thermal to check out more things in the backyard.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to go take it up to your local courthouse or your local, what is it, like a town hall, and see who the reptilians are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you got to do with it. That's going to be a good date. That'd be a good daytime thing. You know what I mean?
So he just has to show up right at that time. We're going, really?
That's awesome. Well, thank y'all for being here. Let's get into some of these maps today, and kind of maybe even the history behind some of these, because Geryl, I don't know if you want to talk about the Piri Reis map. I mean, there's all sorts of different maps we could talk about, right?
Oh, tons of maps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of maps.
All kinds of maps.
Oh, yeah. Which one should we do first?
It doesn't matter. We can bring up the Piri Reis.
Okay. Do you want to show a picture? I've got a bunch of Piri Reis maps that I've pulled up, but if you've got one, we can pull that one up.
All right.
Let's see.
No, I didn't bring up I don't think I brought up the whole map, but I have the screen captures of what we're going to be talking about.
Oh yeah. Well, here I've got some right here. We can show these, and then we can do some screen captures of them as well. So this is the actual map right here too. Okay. And I actually do have the history of the Piri Reis map here somewhere. Okay. And here, let me take this down. We'll pull up, Geryl. We'll pull up what you have on the screen right here. Okay. Now this is a map that actually shows dragons, sea creatures, Blemmyes, dog-headed men, and all that. I think this is like the pinnacle right here.
Yeah, this is it's like 1513. So it's one of the earliest maps showing, and it has the Blemmyes on it and dogmen.
Heck yeah. Well, let me talk about who Piri Reis was real quick. Okay. So he was an Ottoman admiral and cartographer who was born sometime between 1465 and 1470 on the Aegean coast of Turkey. He died around 1555. And his name, okay, so Reis actually means captain. So he was like was literally a captain. He had the rank of an admiral. And the world map from 1513 by him has been said to show Antarctica ice free. So there's no ice on Antarctica.
Right.
And it's been pointed out by people like Graham Hancock and people like that. Of course, and the Cryptid Huntress and Midwest Night Watchers have pointed that out as well. We rank right up there with him. Just kidding. But okay, the Antarctica aspect of the map has been questioned by skeptics. Okay, on that article that I found, I'm like, okay, so they're only focused on Antarctica not having ice. what about all these dog-headed people in Blemmyes? They don't.
Right.
It's almost like a lot of people when they question this map or they bring it up, they just say that he just put this in for fun, like he just drew these creatures in for fun.
They say that about all the old maps when you have the sea creatures in them. You have the Dogman, the Blemmyes. I mean, they even have some of them even have like the wild men or hairy men. They're considered to be what we would think of as Bigfoot, but they always say they're mythical or they're just adding it because that's the lore going around for that area. But so many explorers have journaled it. Marco Polo, all kinds of them have described what they've saw while they were on these journeys, and it was always the Blemmyes, the Doghead men.
Oh yeah. I think that's got to be one of my favorites are the Blemmyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course I love the dog-headed men, but the Blemmyes are interesting. Okay. We really don't hear about people seeing those anymore today, other than Arkeem claims to have seen one down in that underground facility under Davenport, Iowa, he said. So
Right.
wow, look at that. I guess that's a male and a female cynocephaly. Dog-headed people.
To me, it looks like a Dogman and a monkey, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Huh. Well, this so the nautical science and cartography was super advanced back in the 16th century, I guess, especially for him to have drawn that out. I think it's fascinating. Like, how would just one little human know how to map out the world like that without any outside help?
Right.
From, you know what I mean? Without like flying back then. I mean, they may have been flying back then for all we know.
I think they used airships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't think they walked the land and walked this whole earth. I think they used airships back then, and that's why it's so detailed, these maps. And they looked down and they saw these creatures in those certain parts, and they drew them in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it says that Piri Reis completed this map in 1513. He compiled it in 1513. And I think that there was the surviving. So this is only half of the map, y'all. Whatever we have today, they said it's only half the map. And it was found in 1929. So I wonder if that was a mistake or they really just put it away. Or I wonder if they just let the world see it.
Maybe they don't want to show us what's on the other part of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Ooh, that's a good point, Geryl.
I think they forgot about it and didn't realize it, and then they discovered it. Like, it didn't get burnt back in the old days when they were burning all the evidence.
Yes, yes, exactly. And it says that it has a Partolian chart or Partolian, not sure how to pronounce that, which means that rather than using latitude and longitude grids, compass roses and navigational lines were used. It's called azimuths. I think that's how you pronounce it. Were used to indicate relationships between geographical locations. And they pretty much call this forbidden archaeology and stuff too, like stuff they've seen on these maps. So I don't know. I think
the same thing with the planisphere. They call them planisphere maps. They show the azimuths and longitudes.
Oh,
which they all have the same. They all have the same exact lines, and the creatures that we're talking about are the strange beings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Nathan says maps made by human hands of the whole planet before 12,000 years ago exist and existed. Original spirited away. Lots of secondary redrawings exist. And yeah, I mean, that is from a very long time ago. And a lot of cultures believe that they came from the stars. Their ancestors came from the stars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just saying, maybe there was just some forbidden knowledge. Do you know what I mean? And there were probably ETs that kind of helped out with some of this, maybe. Just saying. Wow.
So this is from the planisphere, and it has the same lines like what you're talking about on it, but it also shows all these. I mean, you have Blemmyes and the six-handed man, what they call it.
Hmm.
There's on the same map they have dog people or dog persons, and they're kind of cannibals.
Definitely looks like that.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, we're learning today that there are humans that are cannibals that run our government.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah,
There,
scary.
there it tells you the Piri de Sils planisphere. It says dog-headed people and cannibals in Australia.
Hmm.
Wow. So
And
in
then they have
Australia,
just like you said, they have dragons. They have everything on these maps.
griffins.
Yes, a
Griffins.
lot of griffins. Yes.
They do have griffins. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so talking about out of Australia, I had the privilege of interviewing a father-son duo called Stephen and Evan Strong, and they are
Right.
archaeologists out of Australia, and they believe that humans were seeded here, beginning like in Australia. Okay, out of Australia,
Hmm.
they got the out of Africa theory. Well, they've got the out of Australia theory, and I was able to somehow Dave had to take the night off over at Spaced Out Radio, and I took over and
Hmm.
got to interview them. That was one of my favorite interviews because I don't usually have archaeologists on my shows, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was so different. And it was so cool. But they were talking about how they even had a like a moon-eyed skull in their
Oh.
possession, and
Hmm.
places like the Smithsonian were trying to get their hands on it. They're trying to get their little greasy hands on it, and they were targeted because they had so much knowledge of some of this forbidden knowledge, I guess, right? And so they were just they were interesting to talk to say the least. But and when I say seeded, I mean ET seeded the human race out of Australia.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So it's not just a prison island.
could be, yeah, it is that today, or it used to be, right?
Right.
And I said today, but yeah, it has been. We have people from Australia in our chat. Usually, I don't know if they're here today, but yeah, it makes you wonder if they had dog-headed people in Australia back then too. Could dog-headed people be an ET race? Maybe.
I think it could be very well.
Mhm.
I mean, I think when we did our show on the Blemmyes and stuff, we showed maps that showed certain sections that actually where the Blemmyes came from, where the Dogmen came from.
Oh yeah.
I also watched a show that was talking about Egypt and Israel and Canaan, about maybe being in America, but Canaan was actually canine, which they were thinking that the Canaanites, the dogmen, came from Canaan. That makes a lot of sense.
That actually does make a lot of sense.
Yep. And canine teeth. And then the knights ended up being, they were Canaanites, so they broke it down, the Canaanites, which would just be knights. And if you look up old helmets, they're not shaped for humans. They've got snouts, and where the eyes should be is shaped for dogs.
Really?
So there's no humans could not put them on. Yeah, you can Google image that, the old helmets from the knights.
Oh yeah. There's actually that artwork. I don't know if it's at the Sistine Chapel or somewhere. I think it's at the Sistine Chapel, but it's a knight, and it looks like he has a worm. He takes his helmet off, and it looks like a worm's protruding out where his neck should be.
Oh.
Yeah. Looks like something off of Men in Black, that movie with Will
Right.
Smith. Yeah, looks like something that would happen. Some people actually think that some of the knights were actually. They said they never took their armor off, and they were actually reptilian underneath that armor.
Oh, so that could be a good shape too. Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
have the same Sistine Chapel that has the Bigfoot in the background.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes, it's a wonderful time to be alive as we get to uncover all this stuff, and then question why has this not been taught to us? why is everything a mythological creature when in fact these things existed back in the day? They exist now.
We're
So
not supposed to know.
we're not supposed to know. Well, these
No.
cartographers let us know. And some of the more interesting things I find on these maps are the sea creatures,
Yeah.
Right.
the sea monsters.
hmm
Yeah. Mermaids.
Speaking of mermaids, we have
Two-legged mermaids.
there's all kinds of mermaids on these old maps, and also in a lot of them are manuscripts and old books that the same people collected.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
see this one's from 1490. We have one from 1491.
Oh, you've got something to pull up. Let's pull this one up. Okay. That looks like Starbucks.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So you have all these old manuscripts that show all these mermaids and all the maps.
Wow. You know, it's really interesting to me too, because a lot of times when we're looking at pictures of like these mermaids, especially the ones with the legs that are split,
Yeah.
there's actually something quite lewd. Is that the word? A little
Right.
lewd about it. Because I think what they were suggesting, this is what I've heard, you know, reading and watching some videos and stuff. They're saying that actually that's like some kind of, there were temptresses, right? Sirens. And that's them like splitting their tails so that the men would, you know what,
Oh.
you know, that kind of a thing. And there's something very demonic about it too. A lot of people believe when it comes to those mermaids.
hmm
So lewd. Yes, your Starbucks mermaid she's a floozy. Is that the word? I don't know. That's not the right word, probably. Oh yeah. But I don't know. But yeah, they had stuff like that on these maps. Also krakens as well, like gigantic, look like octopuses, right? Octopi on
Right.
the map. So yeah, on almost every ocean, okay, on some of these maps, they have huge snake-like creatures. And some of them were so big they encircled or encapsulated. I don't know if that's the word. They covered up with their entire bodies the entire ships. These ships are huge, right? Huge ships, and a lot of times they would sink ships, and that was depicted on those maps. And sometimes they were described in detail having heads that resembled horses or dragons and snakes, and said they were hundreds of feet long.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Okay, now the kraken is a legendary cephalopod. That's how you pronounce that. But that would terrorize sailors. I think that still terrorizes sailors today. I don't know. We hadn't
You
heard
think
any
they still
krakens
see them? Is there any current stories of them seeing these creatures out there?
I don't know. Geryl, do you know?
Well, you know, we always have the history where, you know, Christopher Columbus saw stuff and all the explorers, and even here in the US we have what we call river monsters, you know, whether they're big giant snakes or stuff that we can't explain. And they're almost every river that you go to somewhere local, there's a legend or somebody said they have spotted a river monster.
There's a whole show on river monsters. What is that, Jeremy Wade?
Wow.
But I think he's talking about big fish. He's just talking about pretty big fish. That's a great show, by the way. I love that one. Yeah, I mean there are plenty of people are actually finding sharks in rivers these days too. They probably have always been there, but I mean way up where there should not be sharks, especially not in a freshwater river.
Right.
There are sharks in there. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Bobby Singleton. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. It is so great to have you here in the chat today. And congratulations to the winners. Oh yeah, and I saw somebody had just gifted some memberships as well to the Hunt Club. So thank you, Bobby Singleton. That is very sweet of you for the super sticker, and I appreciate your support. That's awesome. And let's see. Hold on. Let me get this real quick too. Oh, it was Bobby. Bobby's the one that gifted those. Thank you so much. He gifted 5 Cryptid Huntress memberships. Golly, that is so amazing. Thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate your support so much. And I believe you have a big old YouTube channel as well. So y'all go over there and subscribe. Okay, everybody. Okay, so thank you for that. Okay. Oh, by the way, okay, so you got this thing to pull up. I'm going to pull this up, Geryl. And I was going to bring up river mermaids too. South Carolina and North Carolina are known to have
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard of the river mermaids. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Well, it gets me is so many of these things are a combination of animals. So many of them are combinations.
Human animal hybrids.
Yep. So this is from the Olus Magnus. They call it the sea monster map because there's so many on here.
Wow.
We did several shows on this map alone, just going through not only the land showing the stuff, but the monsters that are up in the sea. And you can see this giant crab or lobster or whatever it is has a human in its claws.
Oh my. That would be a nice lobster tail.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. It's eating a human.
Right.
That is
And this one I always thought was weird that they have the monster, but then there's like humans either inside or on top of it, whatever they're doing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if they're saying that they're inside.
They're cutting into it.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I mean, it could be from the ship because they got some kind of rope or something going to the monster. So maybe they harpooned it and now they're cutting it in the ocean. I don't know.
They're making monster steaks. I think that's what they're doing. Good grief. You know, those first 2 sea creatures that you showed, they look like they had hair on them. Too.
One of the first 2 ones?
Yeah, they look like they had hair. It was like long, beautiful hair.
Right there.
Yeah, that one. Maybe it's not hair, but
it looks like hair. It looks like dreadlocks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Does look like hair.
And it looks like there's pyramids on top of the land at the very top up there. Are those pyramids?
Yeah.
I wonder if those are actual pyramids.
I don't know. Could be.
Could be. Huh.
That's what's neat about these old maps. You start looking like if we're focused on the sea monsters, you kind of forget to look around and see what else is going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at those barrels floating around too. Wonder what they've thrown in there. Maybe they were to hold the sea creatures up or to keep them away from their boat, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about that on our show. When we were showing these maps, we didn't know if they were full of like gunpowder and they were going to blow them up, or if they were just trying to make their boat lighter so they can get away from the monsters. I mean, there was all kinds of speculations going on during the show, but we never really found an answer other than maybe they were just trying to get away.
Yeah, they're like, get out of here. Throw a barrel at them. Huh. Ooh, now that would be very scary right there. I would not want a big worm dragon taking my boat down.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, taking a chance going out there in the water.
I mean, honestly, this is quite terrifying. I think this map is worse than any kind of
like worse than Jaws.
It is. The truth is stranger than fiction. That's for sure. And man, thank you for sharing those, Geryl. It shows you the enormity of if these things really existed and these cartographers were drawing real life events and creatures that had taken boats down and stuff. This is it's way beyond anything that we hear about today. Honestly, like we don't hear about it. But then again, they say that the majority of the ocean still hasn't even been explored yet.
Right? Mapped out even, yeah.
I don't know. Do you think they tell us that so that we just don't ask questions?
That we just forget about it and
it's just myth.
It's all myth.
Yeah,
mythological creatures. Well, I didn't see a
you know, if
kraken
there's
on there.
different people doing different maps and they're drawing the same creatures, it has to show that these creatures were around. They didn't get together and say, yeah, we're going to draw the similar type creatures.
Right. Like, hey, let's screw with the whole world. They're gonna find these maps one day and they're gonna think this stuff was real. You know?
Yeah.
I doubt they did that. But I don't know. Kent, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well too, Kent. Thank you for that super sticker. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate your support. Big time. Okay. There are other creatures that are on these maps too. And I know we kind of joked around about I said a monopod. I don't know if that's what they're called or not. It was like a person. It looks like a mermaid, kind of, but it's like a person with one foot at the bottom of their limb. Just one limb. Those are on there too. I think they're called them skiapods.
Skiapod, yep.
Skiapod. And they're the one-legged humans. They appeared on maps of India and parts of Asia. The most distinctive feature was an enormously oversized foot, which they supposedly used as a parasol when resting. Multiple Greek and Roman accounts mention this creature, with Alexander the Great's chroniclers claiming to have encountered them during the Eastern campaign. Okay. I've never heard of this. So actually, there is that one we brought up when I had Barry on the show a couple weeks ago. I brought up something called mermaid. What was that called? The mermaid. I forgot what it was called. I don't want to say it's not like a disease. It was like a birth defect, kind of, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But it was a little girl that was born with her legs fused together.
Oh.
And I gotta wonder, is that the same thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. Maybe that was a genetic defect, or if you will, happened at a certain time, and they're prevalent maybe in one section of an area.
Well, it did say India and Asia. Okay, it was specific. They pretty much were just found they only put them in India and Asia. That's where they said they found them, was in those two places. So that's interesting. Did you have, let's pull this one up.
So we did a show with you a year or so ago on the Map of Monday from Hereford Church. And this is it. And we went through quite a few of the same characters that we're talking about on all these other maps. So this map shows pretty much a large section of the world, from Turkey, Greece, Russia, China, Egypt. So it has all these sections. And so you have all these bizarre creatures or entities that are everywhere on this map. And so I have a few of them that we can talk about.
Oh,
so here, this is a religious map. So it does have Christ or God and angels and all kind of entities on it. Demons. This is supposed to be depicting demons taking people to hell through the gate of hell.
Oh, wow.
But then on the other side, you have the angels taking people through the pearly gates going into heaven. So it has both sides of heaven and hell on this map. So here we have the bull, the Minotaur.
Ooh. He's playing with his tail, y'all. That's definitely a tail. Okay. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. This is for entertainment purposes.
So this is a guy riding a crocodile for whatever reason on this map.
Right. Well, doesn't everybody ride crocodiles?
Yeah, crocodiles, dragons.
Does he have a map on his butt?
I used to ride.
Does he have a what?
Does he have a map on his butt?
I think that's the scales of the crocodile, but I don't know.
Looks like he's drawing things out on him. Wow.
It looks like he's got an axe. He's going to have cut it. That was wild.
So here's the gang genes, and they're a weird race. So if you'd have to look it up, and I think I have some other pictures explaining all these names, so we can probably go through those if we have time.
Yes. So
there's some dragons everywhere on this map. Everywhere you look. I'm not sure what a pine is. That one's weird.
They're just shaped so weird back then.
Well, they gave a lot of things human faces.
Yeah.
Too. And so that makes me wonder, were they just bad artists? I'm not saying they're bad, because listen, they're better than I am. But could there have been some genetic splicing going on?
I was just gonna say DNA experiments gone bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, our Earth is a laboratory.
Yeah,
They
because
say.
there's so many combinations of these creatures.
Oh, there's a cyclops.
There's a cyclops, and for whatever reason, this gives me the impression not only is he like a ruler or somebody high in office, but also maybe a giant.
What does he have in his hand? It looks like a shot or something.
He does look like he has something else in
Yeah, it
his
looks
hand
like it's
here.
like a shot. He's getting ready to
Like a shot or a test tube. I mean, maybe it's a test tube and something scientific. Maybe that scepter is like a magic wand. I mean, there's no telling.
But then they describe like birds and stuff that are supposedly local to the areas. Then you get into the venomous dragon, the salamander. So I don't know if this is a real salamander or if this is actually a dragon that's like huge. It's so hard to tell. Wow. There you have the mandrake, and everybody should know the mandrakes from the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, I've covered the mandrakes before.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. There was actually there's a picture going around online that is recent of a person who pulled what looks like a human root. Looks like a rutabaga human.
Really?
Out of the garden. Yeah, it's I couldn't think of the name of it. It's a mandrake. That's exactly what that is. They say that. Well, they say that that's what they do. They scream when you pull them out. Back in the day, I don't know if it was some kind of witchcraft thing or it's they said they would take the blood of people and put the blood in the ground. I mean, I can't exactly how it alchemizes exactly, but it's something to do with the blood,
right?
And that creates a mandrake, basically.
So supposedly they put off a frequency or like a scream when you pull them out of the ground, and that's what kills you. It's like a deafening scream or a frequency. So they usually, according to lore, that they would tie a rope around it before they pull it out, and then they would be so far away that they wouldn't have to worry about the noise until it quit screaming, I guess.
Ooh. Wow. There's something else about them too. It seems like if you pull one out yourself, you will die if you pull it out of the ground. So some people would send their dog to go pick it out of the ground, and then their dog, or they send somebody else over to go pick it out, and they would die when they pull these things out of the ground. They said. I remember that. I do remember that little tidbit.
Yep.
Poor dogs. Just saying. Is that a goat man?
Yep, I believe so. A satyr, S-A-T-Y-R.
Looks like he's got a beak.
Does look like he has a beak. But there's your monopod or your skiapod.
Yep, there he is.
Okay, my question is, did these beings, you just call them beings, did they always sit like that? Is that how they moved around, or
they hopped on one foot? They hopped on one foot to get around, and supposedly they're pretty fast on one foot. But
really,
the area that they lived in was so hot, obviously like a desert climate or whatever, that they would have to sit down and they would shade themselves with their giant foot. That's why you always see pictures of them looking like this.
And I bet they hop really far. And how do we not know they're not in the woods when we only see 1 foot at a time with Sasquatch?
Oh man, have you guys seen that
out there? We don't know.
Have y'all seen that video of that lady who opened her door to her house, and there were footprints going in 2 different directions?
Yeah,
beside each other.
Yep, I did see that.
Could have been a monopod.
Yeah,
could have been a monopod.
Could have been, but they were little footprints. They weren't big.
Then they say this is a rhino, but then I don't know. Sometimes people say it's a unicorn, but the horns and the wrong place, but it could.
Right.
So I'm assuming it is a rhino.
It could be. It could be anything. I mean, there's so many things that we're, that we don't know about.
Right.
Things that existed back then that don't exist anymore. And so I have a lot of questions, right? But one of my questions is, we know the schmotzies. Y'all know who the schmotzies are, right?
Yep.
They were doing a whole lot of experimentation with animals and humans and, zombies, reanimating corpses and doing human-animal hybrid experimentation. I mean, our military and government was doing them back in the 1920s, according to that Billy Whack dairy incident, where they had that OSS officer doing animal-human hybrid experiments back in the 1920s. But could they have been trying to bring back some of these human-animal hybrid, or these hybrids that lived back in the day before some of these resets happened? I wonder if that's what they were doing.
I think they've been trying to mess with DNA for as long as we've existed, or even before, probably. Just like mankind is trying to always make gold out of iron. So this is a medieval church over in the UK. And guess what they have carved on the side of their bench? They have a monopod, or this one has 2 legs, but he has the one giant foot where he's laying on his back trying to shade himself.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. That's a foot?
Wow.
That's a foot. This is his foot going all the way across the top of his.
Oh, that's a good find.
That's
the same church has all kinds of figures carved in their pews, and this is a medieval church. So here's a mermaid.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that's beautiful. It's kind of scary.
Nice carving. Wow.
So they have mermaids, they have dragons, they have monopods. I mean, they have it all in this church carved in these pews.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I just got a flash of that. When I had Eric on the show last Thursday, we showed that the monkey fish.
The monkey fish.
Yeah.
The taxiderm. It looked like they're trying to sell it off as a mermaid, but it was really. I went to go find the one that I knew of, and when I pulled up the search engine results, there were a lot of them. Taxidermists love getting inventive. They do.
They do.
They make anything and everything.
Yeah, they do. Tyler left the first comment in the chat today. Congratulations, Tyler. Thank you for being here. That one looks like Chewbacca mixed with a mermaid.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they do have aquatic Bigfoots, by the way. Barry's talked about that before. The aquatic, what is that? The aquatic ape theory as well. We got that, but
aquatic
Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then also we got the otter man. Remember that? The Kushtaka.
Yeah, we got the otter man. We got the swamp ape.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back and like examine all these things that are seen in modern day things, we've all done shows on some of these things. I've done shows on just about every creature that's been talked about that people claim to have seen. Almost all of them, I feel like. But I wonder how that relates to some of these maps, like some of the things we've talked about. I mean, I don't know, those things that are on those medieval maps are some things I've never seen before. And never heard of, but we have stuff on. I mean, nobody's putting the Kushtaka on a map today. I don't think. I hadn't seen any. The Kushtaka mapping project. Has anybody come up with that yet? I'm just kidding. We got the Bigfoot mapping project. Oh, here's another one. Let's see, Geryl. Thank you.
So this is I wanted to say medieval, but it could be a different time. But this is a manuscript or a book where they collected. It's called a beastuary. If you look up beastuaries, they're books and of all the animals and everything that they've encountered and try to categorize on Earth. Well, if you start looking at it, you start finding the stuff we're talking about, Blemmyes and the people with the reversed legs and
reversed legs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whoa.
Their legs are backwards.
Oh my God. Or as we say in the South, those are backwards.
So this like we were talking about footprints. You got to be careful to know what creature you're tracking because maybe they're not going the direction you think they're going.
Wow.
So this actually existed.
Wow.
They're describing it as they existed. And we have like cannibals up here and people roasting.
Oh my gosh.
I assume that's a Dogman, but I don't know. But that's also, they also have pictures of
rotisserie.
There's our
God.
There's our mono foot, our skiapod.
The guy down below looks like Narnia. That guy. What was that guy's name in Narnia?
I don't know.
Little goat dude.
Yeah, he was the half man, half goat.
Yeah, little goat dude.
The sitar.
Yeah, that was friends with the kids.
So here's so this guy, he's hairy and he has to walk on all fours like a werewolf or a dogman, supposedly. But then we have the typical dogman that they show here.
And notice his legs are like human legs. They're not disagree.
Right.
Yeah.
His hands are that way too. But then he has the torso and the head of a dog or maybe a werewolf. Could be a werewolf.
Oh, wow. So the man's on all fours and the dog's standing up.
And then down here, this one always confused me. I thought it was knights fighting giant birds. Well, actually, the birds are normal size and the people are little when you look it up.
Oh,
really? Wow. So that, I mean, if those are, what would that be, like a goose, I guess?
Yeah,
like
goose or maybe a pelican. I don't know. It's
Alwyn Realta says backwards feet are associated with many different kinds of monsters. Ew, backwards. Well, that's creepy.
So once again, we got the guy crawling. Then we have the person with the giant ears, and they do the same thing. They can cover their whole body supposedly with their ears to protect themselves or to hide.
I saw that. Let's see.
Dude.
Hold on. What are those called again? The Pinotti? Yes. Did you say the Pinotti, Geryl?
I did not say that, but
Pinotti. Okay, I think that's what these are called. The guys with the big ears. Because I had that in my notes. Humans with ears so enormous they could wrap them around their bodies like cloaks, and they populated the Asian maps. So it was in Asia. They reportedly used their ears as blankets when sleeping and as wings to glide short distances.
Wings.
Yeah, they could use them almost like parachutes or to glide through the air, or they can even, if they were spinning, it'd be like almost like a helicopter.
It's like Dumbo, kind of. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun, but I'm just saying there's Dumbo was about that. The elephant movie, that cartoon. It's a Disney cartoon.
Right.
Said that Chinese explorers documented similar beings in their travels westward, suggesting the legend spread across multiple cultures independently. So they were located like by hearsay and on maps in Asia, but then they said when they went west, they saw them as well. But they would glide with their ears, flying.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they flew.
Oh my God. Okay. So I wanted to mention this, and I have not really told anybody. I think I told Barry yesterday. When I was taking my son to school, this was actually yesterday morning. Taking my son, I was driving him to school, and I saw this huge bird. This is the biggest bird I have ever seen in my life, and it was flying over us, not a block away from where we live. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, Ben, look at this huge bird, and I noticed it had a long tail with a diamond on the back of it.
Oh, really?
Just like a pterosaur, and the way its wings were flapping, it looked like it had more like wings. Like it wasn't like bat wings or pterodactyl wings. They were huge wings, and they were so big. They were just like they there was barely moving. It was like gliding more than it was
Wow.
flapping its wings. But it had a literal tail on it with like
Wow.
a like the diamond shape at the
Yeah.
end, just like a pterosaur.
Yep. There's still talks in
wow.
Pennsylvania area and going into the Appalachians that they're still finding dragons and all those. So I mean, how many reports could be dragons and how many could be thunderbirds or pterosaurs or
Mhm.
I mean, you could easily mix any of them up.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have seen a dragon.
You
I
could
don't
have.
know.
You could have.
I didn't see his face. I just saw it like as it went over our truck, and then it went past, and it was. I mean, it was really fast. It moved quick. There's Barry. I see Barry.
Maybe you're the mother of dragons and is trying to find you.
I am. Well, it was
And the
going right
question-
over my house, and it was going in a opposite direction than the geese. We have geese out here, and
Mhm.
I see the geese every day and every morning, every day, and the geese usually will migrate from one lake to another because I live in between lakes and stuff, and they will. And this was going opposite of the direction the geese usually go in, which I found kind of odd
So
too.
you live in the land between the lakes.
I do. I live in a land, not the land, but a land between the lakes. Yes, I do. That's
The
funny.
question is, where is your phone? Why didn't you grab your phone?
That's what my mom said. I was like, well, I was driving and I didn't even think about grabbing my phone.
Right.
And you know how it is like when you're taking a picture of something in the air, like the moon, for instance, or
Right.
it's like a tiny little dot on your screen when you
Yep.
take the picture.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have done anything. If I don't know. If you know how hard it is for me to pull my camera up on my phone, you know why I didn't do that. I didn't even try.
Well, if Ben saw it, you have a witness.
Well, he was like, well, I kind of saw it. So he's not trying to, he's not a good witness. He's not
Okay.
a corroborator or whatever you call that. The second eyewitness. But anyways, I did see that yesterday morning.
Wow, that's so cool.
What it was, I don't know. Maybe there's a bird that has a tail with a triangle at the end of it. That like, it was like a long, almost like a string with a triangle or a diamond shape.
Well, keep
Wow.
an eye out. You might see it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go camp out down there in the middle of town, looking crazy. Oh man. But
So I have some slides of some definitions of some of these characters and we've been talking to. So this is the Nuremberg Chronicles. And it was printed in 1493. And the map itself is just of the, like we always talk about the known world at the time or their area. But the funny thing is the pictures on the side are all these creatures and people that we talk about.
oh wow.
So they're not on the actual map itself, but they're on the side. And if you go through the book, it starts telling you what they are. So this character is commonly referred as a six-handed man. And in the histories of Alexander the Great, their story where they had fought these beings.
Oh man, that would have been a disaster. That would have been crazy. They're like they got way more hands for way more guns and knives.
So
You know,
Pliny
I bet they
the
did back
Elder, Pliny the Elder, which is way back in time, he was a historian for one of the Roman leaders, Roman emperors, and he talked about them. And he talked about the next person, the Geryls, which is a woman covered in hair. So is this like a wild woman, a wild man, like they describe a lot of times as Bigfoot?
It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
She looks pretty though.
Yep.
Just a little hairy.
So this guy has 6 fingers, 6 digits on his hands and feet.
Hmm.
The Nephilim, right?
Yeah. That's why a lot of the hands are gone in a lot of these statues.
Oh, we're going to talk about statues here in just a little bit.
They don't want to show the 6 fingers.
Well, AI puts an extra finger on people sometimes.
They
When
do,
I'm
don't they?
Yeah.
And you can actually find videos of people today that still get 6 digits. A lot of times they opt out for surgery, but most of the people, they just become accepting of it and they keep their full digit if it's a working digit.
my buddy Larry, my dance teacher's boyfriend, husband, whatever, I don't know what their relationship status was. It doesn't matter, but he had an extra pinky finger on both hands, and I will never forget that. I thought that was just amazing, and I always wondered. I was like, why didn't he just cut that thing off? But I mean, I guess it was useful. I don't know. I didn't know that people were born. I thought it was just like a birth defect, you know.
Oh,
What
wow.
is this fella?
So they have all. I mean, here's one that's
3 eyes.
the Sitsti, which is a person that has 4 eyes.
Oh, 4 eyes.
What?
That's almost like a Siamese twin that went bad.
Yes.
1 mouth,
Yes.
1 nose, and 4 eyes.
So here's metaphors.
What is that? That's a human?
Oh,
Supposed to be a human with this long stork or ostrich-like neck and kind of has a beak.
Oh my goodness.
Man, this is like Ripley's Believe It or Not from the medieval times.
It is. So here's your dog-headed men.
All right.
Hmm.
That still exists today.
Yep.
I mean, I'd have to argue that probably all of these things exist somewhere in the world in some
Or
of these
inner
underground
Earth, yeah.
laboratories.
I'm
They
just
probably
wondering
are.
if some catastrophic event happened and they all went in the inner Earth.
There's your mononucleus, I think they call them. They're the 1 eyes. Eremapasi, 1-eyed people living in Scathia. I don't know where these areas are. We'll have to look on maps to figure out where they are. There's your Blemmyes.
Blemmyes. He is my favorite.
Well, this says
I do like those.
Nubian. So this is what Africa.
Yes. Yeah. That is where if you look it up online, like I actually let's see. I had have the Blemmyes pulled up, I think. Let me see if I can find it.
I
on this
question
computer.
that one that could be a real picture of a Blemmie. I still wonder if that's a real picture. I think
Oh,
you
that's
got
right.
it.
Let's see.
That
Oh, here
old.
I've got this. Hold on, let me share my screen real quick. Excuse me. Okay, the Blemmyes were an eastern desert people who appeared in written sources from the 7th century BC until the 8th century AD. By the late 4th century, they'd occupied Lower Nubia and established a kingdom. From inscriptions in the temple of Isis at Philae, is that how you say that? A considerable amount is known about the structure of the Blemmyes state. The Blemmyes are usually identified as one of the components of the archaeological X group culture that flourished in late antiquity. You can read the rest on Wikipedia. Let's look at some of this. This is hilarious, y'all. When I look up Blemmyes, there's a picture of my face right here. Y'all remember this?
Oh my gosh.
I put my face on a Blemmie body. This is from the show that I did. I'm sorry, this is hilarious. When you do a DuckDuckGo search of Blemmyes, my face comes up. That is just crazy.
You can't have a bobblehead on a Blemmie, can you?
And when we did the show on our channel about Blemmyes and we had you on, everybody still talks about Blemmie butts.
Blemmie butts? Yeah, the Blemmie butts. Oh my God. Blemmie action figures. There's the picture. I just wonder if that's a real picture.
I mean, if there's a real picture of a Blemmie, I'd say that one's going to be it.
Right.
That's it right there. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, with AI and everything, I mean, it could be not real, but I don't know. That's what Arkeem swears he ran into one down at an underground base under Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah.
Wow.
An hour and a half away from us.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So there's those.
So yeah, if he saw one up there, that means they're still around.
Mm-hmm.
And Humpty Dumpty was Humpty Dumpty a Blemmy?
I mean, this looks like Cupid, some sort of a the Cupid Blemmy, some sort of hunter. You know, they say in historical accounts they were actually a warring race of people, basically. They went into war, battles,
Yeah.
and they're often seen holding some sort of a weapon
Right.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, some of them are hairy. But see, I think this could also be a Bigfoot right here. But
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe there's hairy. Yeah.
I didn't realize some were. Okay, well, just like the Bugs Bunny dude, he was hairy. That we're calling a Blemmy.
That's right. This picture though, it does come up often whenever anyone does a show on Blemmyes. There's that vintage
Yeah.
photo again.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that's out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's artwork that has Blemmyes in it. Lots of
Right.
medieval art. Also,
natural
you know,
photo.
carvings.
That might be the only actual photo that I've seen. Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably
That's
something that they got rid of and destroyed. But that does look like it would be an actual photo of what they would look like.
Oh man, we live in a strange world though.
Oh,
They
wow.
But when they're talking about that they were Nubian, okay, and that's in Africa, right? And
Right.
And so they were mostly seen there or known to be there. But I think they were all over the world. I mean, on that Piri Reis map, Geryl, that we had up a while ago, it looks like there's Blemmyes in India
Yes.
as well. So here, I'm going to stop sharing that. We love our Blemmyes, even the Blemmy butts.
Yep.
Let me bet.
So I have some historical Blemmyes on. This is on the side of a building, and they have not only mermaids but the half goat, half man, but they also have a Blemmy holding a dog.
If that's an old building, they had to have been real if they were carved in the buildings. Oh my God.
Here's a Blemmy that's supposedly like on a curved boat, and this is part of a carving. Once again, inside of an old like church or a historical building. So you have Blemmyes on both sides, and the one's wearing like a scarf. So maybe that's like the Nubian Blemmy. I'm not positive. I think it would be there to protect them from the heat.
Yeah, scarves are supposed to protect your neck, right? So I don't think they have a neck.
Yeah.
It's a belt.
So this is in the Rapon Cathedral. So it's in a church. So we just had a church that had mermaids and the monopods, and now we got Blemmyes in another one.
This is a good question from Wendell. Wendell's asking, did the Hunchback of Notre Dame, could that have been a Blemmy?
Oh.
Maybe. Because his head was really down low, almost to his chest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
That is.
Wow.
Where
did they go?
I don't know, man. You know, I wanted to actually, speaking of, you know, churches and statuary, I guess you could say, I did want to cover something else before we go today too. I mean, of course, the maps. You got more maps. Let's talk about them. Let's pull this up. Then
I just got a couple more things. That this is in another church, St. George, and it has a Dogman.
Could that be St. Christopher?
Could be St. Christopher. We've talked about that on shows before. So here's like one of the main arches of the entry into the church, and up here is where you start getting into your little figures, and that's what it is.
No.
Still say Canaanites.
The Canaanites.
Wow.
So
that's a good find.
So once again, why would they put all these things in these sculptures, in these churches, in these maps if they didn't exist?
Oh,
And
they
weren't
existed.
and they weren't really considered churches back then anyway.
They could have been
Cathodes.
sound healing cathedrals, right?
Yeah, they're cathodes.
Healing
They're for
centers.
healing.
With Dogman.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for pulling that up today, y'all. Geryl, I'd appreciate those pictures. Those are some great finds. I had not seen that one, the last one that we just looked at. That's the first time I've seen that.
They're everywhere. I mean, chances are if you go to a cathedral or a major building in whether it's New York, Chicago, San Francisco, wherever, I bet you find more of these things that are carved in.
People just overlook a lot of this.
Robin said, and we humans still have canine teeth.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Some people don't. But some people don't.
You know, I was just seeing this. Like, I did not realize that some orthodontists, when you go get your braces taken off and stuff, they will grind people's canines down to be flat to kind of be more uniform with the rest of their teeth. And I've always seen, you know, and a lot of people have that. A lot of people do. I don't. I've got canines, y'all. I got sharp teeth. My canines are still sharp. I might be a vampire. I don't know. Okay, but I doubt it. Maybe a werewolf. I'd rather be a werewolf, I think. But some people, I've noticed that. I was like, there's always something different about some people's teeth, and it's because their teeth are so straight and perfect. And it's like, well, their orthodontist has ground down their canines. Yeah, that's the thing. It's an aesthetic, I guess. It's like
it is.
I don't know. Yeah. Wolf woman. That's
wow.
Right. Oh man. All right. Well, do y'all want to talk about these statues?
Yeah.
Let's talk about statues.
Because this is weird. Okay, it's not like we hadn't already talked about weird stuff today, but this is really weird. And I mean, how many times have you guys seen a statue, like a copper statue, a bronze? Let's just say bronze. Bronze statues. You know, it's interesting looking at like marble statues from, you know, the Renaissance era and stuff, and be like, how did anyone carve that? You know, some of it looks almost 3D printed, dare I say, or
perfectly carved, no mistakes.
Exactly. It's crazy. And it's like, well, I don't know. I came across something. I was scrolling through TikTok, and this guy was talking about electrotyping bodies. And I was like, man, I love connecting dots here. And I was listening to what this guy was saying, and I went and looked for this article myself that he was referring to. And so let me share my screen. And we're going to show you guys this. This is a newspaper article from the 1890s, I believe, or 1886, actually. Okay, and you guys can go find this article too yourself if you'd like. Let's see if I can get it to come up. Uh-oh, I don't think it's wanting to come up. Hold on, let me try again.
Come on, new computer.
Come on. No, I've got I'm trying to pull it up on my old computer.
Come on, old computer.
Yes, the old computer. And it doesn't want to, actually, I don't know if it's going to pull it up or not. If it's not, I've got the whole article printed out so I can just read it. But I'd like for y'all to see it. It's from the I don't know how to pronounce this. Tulalum Independent, May 1st, 1886, out of California.
Oh.
Hold on. Maybe this will share. It keeps trying to open up another box. Okay, let me just read it. Let me just read you the article. Okay. It says electrotyping bodies. Okay. In case y'all aren't familiar with this, I was not familiar with this myself. All right. It's not letting me pull this up. It says it can't access it. Okay. Well, anyways. Okay. So electrotyping bodies, a notable view of a chemist's significant discovery. The new system of disposing of dead bodies devised by a Brest chemist has much to recommend it. That is, if its practical features have not been overrated. The process consists simply of coating the body with a substance which, after proper treatment, leaves all over it a metallic deposit. Then, just as an electrotype plate is treated in the process of its manufacture, The body goes into a bath of sulfate of sulfate of copper. Electricity is employed, and a fine hard copper skin is produced all over it. This can be plated with silver, gold, or any metal desired. So it's basically copper, and then you can put gold or silver on top of it, according to the wealth of the deceased and the wishes of their heirs. So if you're rich, you can turn to gold.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to be a hard copper covering on your body, but then they can put gold on it if you got money. Okay. It will be perceived at a glance that this new process will be a great thing in the event of a great man's death, as affording a means of setting up an absolutely perfect statue of him at the minimum of expense. He is plated and put up upon a pedestal that you all there is of it. And the traveler of the future, gazing upon the statue of a famous personage of the past, will have the satisfaction of knowing that he has before him not merely a marble imitation, but the famous personage himself, with only the change in personal appearance of having a firmer AMI, whatever AMI is, brighter skin than in his real life, and of lacking something, perhaps, of what might be called vivacity of expression.
Wow.
How different must the traveler's sensations in such a case from what they were, he looking merely at an unmeaning block of stone. We're talking about how, like, it'd be better than just being a chunk of marble, basically. And aside from the case of a great man, the new system has its enormous advantages to use in private life. It says, not much cost. You can have your body electrotyped in plain copper, and then in case of straitened circumstances, the statue can be laid aside until means are available for plating it. The deceased will necessarily look for a season like an American Indian, but then can be changed at any time. So basically, you look like you have copper skin, is what they're saying.
Right.
The scientist appears to have hit upon a great device, something calculated to make even crematory stock go down. Okay, so God forbid people are going to quit cremating their loved ones. They're all going to get dipped in copper.
Let's talk about mummified.
Well, they've been doing that for a long time. They've been making busts of rulers and presidents. So how many bronzes that are made from deceased presidents are actually really their heads?
No.
Oh, wow.
Missing time. I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, Han Solo got frozen in carbonite. Remember that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have known some people in my days, y'all, who literally I've joked around, like, I'm not gonna say who it is because somebody was in my family. We're like, well, we're gonna have to make a statue one day, she was gonna want a statue, and and it was kind of a joke, an ongoing joke within our family, we're gonna give I would say it's my grandmother. We're gonna have to make a statue. Well, we could have actually made her into a statue.
Yeah.
Right.
My goodness.
Wow.
I gotta tell my uncles, man, we should have made Grandmother Nellie into a statue. But anyways, I don't know. Okay, so here's my question. Okay, like I said, I always have questions, y'all. Could they're actually, this is something brand new in 1880. What year was that? 1888 or 80 something? They're saying that was new then, but could that be where some of these giants have gone and stuff? I know this is kind of silly, but is it? Could some of these statues and things, could they actually be like giant statues of giant people? Could those be real giants? Is that where they're hiding them?
Maybe.
I say yes. I saw a podcast just this last week talking about all this. That the old saints, the saints would go up on these pillars and they would pray. Well, did something happen that these statues are really them and they got turned to stone?
I mean, is that how you get the sleeping giants and all the mountain ranges? Is that how you get the dragons like the one that you found?
And all these giant statues that you see are not really cement, that they were real people that got turned to stone. And that was the podcast that I was watching, and I kind of went, oh, I mean, it made sense. Of the giant, the mountains that we said, could be sleeping giants or dragons, and You know, and then all these big giant statues that are around the whole world that are on these pillars. Could they have been something real?
I mean, it makes you wonder.
There's
I don't.
good old Satan.
We got the Statue of Liberty. Well, the Statue of Liberty came over here in pieces from France, right?
Right.
So
Now they say it's Satan.
yeah, it's Lucifer.
Yep,
They
it's
say.
Lucifer.
So we had the giant statue of Rhodes that people say was a huge,
Wow.
just enormous statue at one time. So how do we know that wasn't a real giant or a titan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that all of the statues are going to be, I'm not saying, I mean, I don't have any really great examples to pull up because my other computer is not letting me pull the ones up that I had. But okay. And here's another thing.
Oh my God.
Okay. So they're talking about dipping these statues and stuff in gold as well. And I could not find this, but I remember watching a video. There's a YouTube channel that I used to watch. It was called Stranger Than Fiction, I think. And they got some pretty good information on there. It's kind of some good disclosure about celebrities and stuff like that, and some of the rituals that they do, and they really get into like the satanic side of their rituals. And I mean, it's interesting for me to watch because it actually connects the dots to some of the things we talk about on our shows. And and so I used to watch them. I don't know if they still got a YouTube channel. I think they got kicked off probably, for all I know. But they're talking about how the elites have some kind of ritual they do where they dip their bodies in gold.
Oh,
wow.
And I was wondering if it had anything to do with this. I don't know.
possibly.
Could be.
But I think I sent you a while ago where people were finding actual stone statues. What it got broken off, and it looks like there's like tendons and bones inside of the statues of marble.
Yes, there's that too. Like the mannequins.
Yes,
it seemed like there were mannequins.
Statues.
Okay, Leah was saying something about the Vatican. Okay, well,
oh, that thing's creepy.
Well, this is at the Vatican. This is in that. I think it's in that serpent room.
Yep.
I think it's on the stage.
Thing is creepy.
I mean, think of the implications of this, though. Okay, there's also that. Gosh, what was that? Hold on, I'm looking at some of these pictures that I have. There's also like the fallen angel that came out of Russia. Remember that? It was like a statue that they found. That some guys were doing an excavation and they found this like a fallen angel, but it looked like it was real. And I was thinking, man, think of all the things that may have been, what do you call it? Electrotyped. The word is electrotyped.
Or turned to stone. Yeah.
Turned to stone. We've got that solid stone technology as well. Bigfoot Dwarf says Mud Fossil University.
Yeah. I'll never look at a statue the same again, thinking that it's real.
They may be real, especially if the rich people were doing this. The people with the money,
right?
The ones that were probably in power. Think about. I mean, in the South down here, every town has a Confederate soldier. On top of an obelisk, basically. Facing, I think they're facing. I don't know if they're facing north or south. I can't remember, but stuff like that. What if they put real soldiers in there? Stuff, even though they say this didn't come around till like 1880s.
Wow.
Well after the Civil War, but still, I don't know. It's just food for thought, like Barry says.
What?
Yeah, how do you really know? Unless you examine it or X-ray it or break it a part of it off, then who knows what you'll find inside.
Yeah.
You never know with conspiracies these days. Everything's coming true. So, I mean, nothing surprises me anymore.
No. Everything that we were told is a fairy tale is real.
Everything's opposite.
Yeah.
You never know.
Bonnie says statues were made from clay and later dipped in melted copper or silver. Yes.
Wow.
That's probably how the majority of statues have been, but there's going to be some too that have bodies inside of them. I think. And I mean, if you go we have some beautiful cemeteries in Georgia, down in Savannah and downtown Atlanta. I mean, they're everywhere, but with statuary in there, and I need to go back and examine some of those, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've had the honor of going to Statuary Hall at our U.S. Capitol before.
Oh,
And I've gone to some events there, and with some of our legislators and stuff. When I worked in government, I went to the nation's capital, and so now I'm like, well, man, I think those were all marble statues, but I don't know. Maybe there's some people inside of there. Some of those statues.
yeah. How do you know?
How do
I
we
mean,
know?
even the statues are like Walt Disney at Disneyland. How do you know that bronze isn't really him inside?
Mm.
Well, because his head, well, maybe his body, but his head's in a cryogenics lab.
Oh,
Right.
right. That's what they say.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, even this too. Thank you, Cheeky Blue. Clay soldiers were buried with China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. I don't know how to pronounce that. But that's something else that I've thought about. What about the terracotta soldiers and stuff? Like what if there's some kind of alchemical process where those things were actually humans at some point?
All right. Why would you want to be buried with clay soldiers?
Interesting. Your power. I don't know. Well, this has been a very interesting show, y'all. This has been amazing. I've really enjoyed this, and so yeah, I think we're definitely leaving the audience with some food for thought today, for sure.
So all these maps and all these scripts and stuff manuscripts we've been showing, you can go to the Library of Congress, you can go to the New York Public Library online, and you can download all these PDFs and search them out yourselves and check out these maps and see if you can find anything that we didn't notice.
Yeah, they're downloading a lot more stuff on the Library of Congress. You can find old books and things, and it has all these creatures in it. So it's not just maps. You can download. There's airships. You just Google airships on the Library of Congress. They have pictures of real airships, so you can't say that they weren't around because they're dumping all these files now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hold on to what do you call it? Hold on to the seat of your pants. We're in for a wild ride. We are with all this disclosure that's going on, and I mean it's wild how my mind is still being blown. Every day there's something new that comes up, and I'm like, man, now we've got statues that have human bodies inside of them. They're actual humans. So.
Can you imagine if they open up the Smithsonian files and tells us the truth?
Oh,
I know, right?
That would be interesting. Open up the Vatican.
Oh man, I would think that going back to like that article that I read to the audience talking about how the crematoriums are going to go out of business. Like, can you imagine if everybody just started turning their loved ones or our bodies into like statues everywhere? Man, that'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely wild. I don't know if I want that. I don't think I want that personally. But anyways. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here with me today. I have thoroughly enjoyed this.
Anytime.
I have one more video if we have time.
Absolutely.
That you can play before.
Okay, let's play it. Oh, Cryptid Huntress.
That's wild.
That is so nice. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. In Midwest Night Watchers. Oh my God. Yay. I love that. Oh my gosh. I love that. Geryl, you are so freaking artistic, man. I love that. Thank you so much. What a wonderful way to end the show.
That was cool.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, y'all. Geryl and Jane, tell everybody where they can find you over on YouTube or wherever you're located.
On Etsy, War Woman Goods. I pull a mic.
So silly.
I'll pull an LIB.
Thank you.
No, you can go to Giro Sounds if you want some relaxing music and just ease your mind. I got singing bowls, hand pans, tongue drums, all kinds of cool things. You can just close your eyes and just relax. And then Geryl can tell us where you can find us elsewhere?
Yeah, you can go to Midwest Night Watchers, just like Jessica has on the screen. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook group. If you want to see weird stuff, please join our Facebook group because we always do our shows and anything in the skies or weird going on. We always show it there. And we have a merch shop that's at midwestnightwatchers.printful.me. And like this shirt I have on right now, a robot grandma, we just added this one to our collection, and there's lots of cool shirts and our logos on there, and anything that we get from our shirt sales is going to provide food for the outside cats and animals that we feed all the time, the deer included. So that helps them out. And
Stray critters.
just look up Midwest Night Watchers, and it's almost on all social platforms.
Oh my God. And you have those live feeds where people can watch all your farm animals and in the sky out at your property. And it's amazing.
Yep. So on YouTube under Midwest Night Watchers, our normal channel, it's the 24/7 live feed, and we're adding more cameras, and we're getting ready to add another camera here pretty soon. So we're really looking forward to that.
I love it.
And hang out with us on Friday night because we dig into these maps on a regular basis and all these creatures and things. So on Friday night, we like to hang out with our chat and kind of do some deep diving in some of this.
Oh my gosh. It's always so much fun seeing y'all on Friday nights on your what is it? The Night Owl
Lounge.
Yeah.
Night Owl Lounge.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will try to be I try to always be there when I can. And late at night. It's a little late, but I will always hop in whenever I get a chance. And man, thank y'all so much for being here today. Please, let's do this again soon.
Yes.
Okay? We will. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Ingenib, thank you so much. I think your name is Henry. I saw you on Facebook. Okay. And so thank you, Ingenib. I just pronounce things how I see them. Okay. Yep. So thank you for the super sticker. You're so sweet. I really do appreciate your support. And also I want to thank Kent Baxter. Thank you for the super sticker. Bobby Singleton, thank you so much for being here today and for gifting those 5 Cryptid Huntress Hunt Club memberships and for the super sticker as well. Man, y'all are the sweetest. And all right. Well, I guess I'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with a remote viewing show. I can promise you it's going to be interesting and fun. And so Geryl and Jane, thank y'all again so much for being here. It just made my day having y'all here. And,
thank you for having us.
Yeah,
yes, we have I always learn so much. And when, like I said, we just have a really good time every time y'all come on. So y'all please go over to Midwest Night Watchers and Chiro Sounds on YouTube and across social media and give them a follow. And everybody, please be safe out there. And, come back and see me. And like I always say, don't live in fear. Jane, what do you always say?
Keep your vibrations high.
And keep looking up.
And keep looking up. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow night. All right, have a great day. Bye, y'all.